The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. He's your host.
All right, my beautiful people, this is ERGJ, a certified financial educator here on the new Black Wall Street. We are taking a look ahead in the market today on January 24, 2017. It's a Tuesday. Hope you're ready to rock and roll. As we get started here, just a couple quick announcements. We got a couple of investment sessions coming up. Of course, if tonight at 8 p.m. tonight on Tuesday, we have our FANG stock investment session. Amazon over the past year, 128% return. Facebook, 106% return. Netflix, 135% return. The question is, has any one of those companies paid you? Well, tonight we're going to be looking at these companies and trying to scour for some investment opportunities. You don't want to miss that. Join the kitchen table as we talk about money. Also on Thursday coming up, we have the Sprint investment session. We're going to be talking about telecommunications. Of course, Sprint just signed a deal to buy into 33% into Jay-Z's music Tidal company. Tidal being a music streaming service company, and a lot of people are getting ready to invest in Sprint. So we'll be talking about that, things to look out for as far as a possible investment into Sprint. That's Thursday. You want to get signed up for that. And then next week, we'll get into a hot topic, very popular topic. We'll be talking about weed. That's right, weed. 420 is going to be our marijuana investment session. So if you're interested in joining the table, either three of those sessions, start talking about how to make your money work for you, then you want to go to www.ergj.net. You can find us in the comments below or in the comments above to go ahead and register and sign up for that. Get your seat at the money table. That's right. But it's January 24th. Let's look ahead. Let's go ahead and take a look at the market ahead. What do we got going on today? Well, Trump is going to be hosting a breakfast this morning with CEOs of General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler today. And we've talked about this over the past week, how Trump is trying to make America great again by bringing more jobs to America. And it looks like this conversation is going to be about those companies, American brands, making sure they keep their jobs here in the States. So Trump is looking forward to hearing the ideas on how we can work together to bring more jobs back to this industry in particular. I don't know if this is going to be good news for Detroit or not. I'm not quite sure, but that was from House spokesman Sean Spicer, double S. That's what he said. Executives from Toyota, Honda, Nissan, and Hyundai, which all have U.S. plants as well as plants in Mexico, weren't invited to this meeting, according to spokespeople from those companies. Trump has been vocal about his plans to penalize companies, specifically automakers, that make products in Mexico and sell them in the United States. We're talking about big taxes, a big border tax. If you're going to make your products in Mexico and you're going to sell them here in the United States. So, so that's good news for these American brands. So I know some people that's got some investments in Ford. Hey, yeah, if you've been waiting this long, might be a good time. You've been holding out hope. Some big earnings today, guys. Some big earnings, some big companies with some big earnings. So before the bell, you got 3M. We got Alibaba, which is the Chinese company, is like Amazon. Johnson & Johnson, DuPont, Lockheed Martin, Verizon, and Philips are all releasing before the open. Matter of fact, Alibaba actually just released their earnings. Let me go ahead and read that out to you guys, because Alibaba says their revenue, they post a 54% rise in the third quarter revenue, and they raised their 2017 guidance. When you hear raises guidance, that means they have a positive outlook on their future this year. It typically means that stock price is probably going to be rising. It's probably going to be going up today, this morning, as soon as the bell opens. It's good news for you guys who are day traders, who are option players. You can probably be looking to do a call of some sort on Alibaba to make some money today. That's right. That's what I said. Make some money today. And you can read that report on the whole Alibaba post, but 54% rise. They already reported their earnings this morning. So that's good news for Alibaba. Let me go back to what I was looking at. All right. And then after the bell, you got Alcoa and Texas Instruments. You guys remember those TI-85s? Well, Texas Instruments is still in business. They're still doing making products and services. They're going to release after the close. So those are the big earnings coming out today. Some things you want to watch out for: Samsung, Volkswagen, and Yahoo. Samsung, their shares continue to push higher on Tuesday after a recent firm reported its biggest. They reported their biggest quarterly profit in 3 years. Now, this is interesting because obviously Samsung is going through their corruption scandal. The firm stock is trading near all-time highs, even though the company has been linked to a huge political corruption scandal and has faced a public backlash for selling smartphones that overheated and occasionally caught fire. So here's what basically it's saying: investors don't care if you catch on fire as long as they continue to get profits. And I think consumers don't care if they catch on fire because they continue to buy Samsung's products. So it's very interesting. Got a scandal going on. You got phones that are burning people's heads up, and people are still buying these phones. Hey, we don't care. And so in the world of Wall Street, it's all about money, man. It's all about profit and revenue. Hey, what's going on, Mike? Hey, I don't know, man. There could be some good news for the Midwest, man. They bring those warehouses back, bring some jobs back, and then we can start to rebuild that infrastructure there. That's just me and my hypothesis, man. It's not, I don't know what they plan to do, but that would be good. That would be a good thing and a good place to do it. Flint, hey, that'd be a good place. Flint, go to Flint. Shares of Volkswagen are holding steady after the United States District Court in California gave final approval for the firm to pay $1.2 billion to its American car dealers for emission cheating scandals. So Volkswagen, actually, again, their shares are starting to rise again, even after they paid off or they settled their case that has to do with them and their emissions cheating. Shares in Yahoo are rising a tad in pre-market trading after the company reported its later quarterly earnings. So they reported last night after the bell. They did pretty well. And the company sale, it says the company sale to Verizon now expected to close in the second quarter this year, which is a little delay from the initial plans for the deal to close this quarter. So Verizon and Yahoo are in a deal or an agreement for Verizon to buy Yahoo. So that's something I think that most people have known. If you haven't, that's been going on for a little while. So it's a lot of deals that are on the table, a lot of mergers, a lot of acquisitions, and that's just one of them. Shares in the British telecom firm BT Group are actually plunging 18%. They still need to fix that water in Flint. 18% in London after the company reported inappropriate behavior and improper accounting practices in its Italian business. So BT, British telecom firm, no bueno today, 18% down pre-market. Another thing you want to watch out for is the court ruling on Brexit today. So the pound has taken a small dip after the United Kingdom Supreme Court ruled on Brexit. The court ruled that the UK government must hold a vote in Parliament before beginning the process of leaving the European Union. The government had originally planned to trigger Brexit without a parliamentary vote. And as far as our stock market overview, investors seem to be in a wait-and-see mode right now. So U.S. stock futures are holding steady as most European markets edge higher in early trading. Asian markets ended the day with mixed results. So again, just to remind you that the money is always moving 24 hours a day. When the market closes in America, the market abroad or in foreign areas is open. So we got news from what's going on in the other markets. It's a global economy, my people. It's a global economy. Put that in the comments below. Global economy. Is Sprint a good? We're going to talk about that on Thursday, man. So, hey, join us on the Sprint investment session. We're actually going to be talking about that on Thursday. So, Mike asks, is Sprint a good stock to buy with the merger? When you say the merger, you talking about with the possible T-Mobile merger, or are you talking about with Sprint buying a stake into the title company, into Jay-Z's company? Clarify your question, but we're going to talk about that on Thursday. So we're going to have a Sprint investment session. We scheduled that yesterday. It's going to be scheduled for Thursday. So you got 2 days to get your seat at that table, so we can actually discuss and have our views or our viewpoints on Sprint and this new information that came out yesterday. They spent $200 million. That's a lot of money for that streaming service to have exclusive rights to some of those artists. So today, the Senate hearing to review Mick McIlvaney's nomination to be director of the Office of Management and Budget. That's what you want to look out for in, as we look for more confirmations or more of Trump's cabinet to be confirmed. They having a hearing on Mick McIlvaney. All right. as far as in world news is concerned, as far as the global economy, the dollar steadied on Tuesday, recovering from a dip on fears of Trump's focus on protectionism over fiscal stimulus, suggesting his administration might be content to gain a competitive advantage through a weaker currency. We also found out yesterday that he has withdrawn from the TPP, which is a Trans-Pacific Partnership. He's also looking to renegotiate the NAFTA, which is a North American Free Trade Agreement between United States, Mexico, and Canada. And again, my belief is that Canada is going to get the short end of the stick with that renegotiation. The talk of trade wars came in the face of more data pointing to a revival in activity worldwide. A survey of Japanese manufacturing showed the fastest expansion in almost 3 years, as French business activity hit a 5.5-year peak. So again, this is good news for you guys if you are into foreign exchange. If you're in foreign exchange, you're starting to pay attention to global news, because these countries, and depending on how the news goes for these countries, Japan obviously is Japanese yen. You could see some movement in the yen and the dollar pair. I guess I don't know what they pair with, but you'll start to see some movement in these currency pairs if you're paying attention to the global news. Hey, Renee, good morning. How are you? Jaybird Management, what's up? What's your no, that's Janae Ross, I believe is what your name. Janae. Good morning, Cookie. So it's a global economy, guys. If you are going to be into foreign exchange, you got to pay attention to the global news, not just the United States news, not the filtered news that you get here that's watered down. It's full of alternative facts. Everybody put in the comments below alternative facts. European stocks gained 0.3% as the upbeat data combined with a 2.5-year high in commodity stocks on a 1% jump in Italian stocks, followed by a merger deal for 2 of its banks. So you got some news on Europe, you got some news on commodities and Italian stocks. They made an additional group as Britain's top court ruled that the UK government must get parliamentary approval to start the Brexit process. Though sterling briefly dipped on news, Scotland, Wales, and North Ireland assemblies would not have to give their assent. So sterling is like silver, right? So I don't know. There's some play on the movement of silver with this Brexit. Maybe we get a lot of silver from Scotland, Wales, and North Ireland. Maybe that's where a lot of silver comes from. I'm not quite sure. I think it might be if you're a commodity trader, it might be wise to know where a lot of these commodities are manufactured. Like you want to know what they produce in Africa. You want to know what they produce in, China, as far as commodity is concerned, because then again, the news that comes from those particular areas should be able to help you with your investment strategy. Yeah, I agree, Michael. Global news is easy to follow. It was largely fine-tuning, however. Both the euro and sterling had already been pushed back by the dollar as it clawed back from an overnight tumble that had taken the dollar index below by 100-point threshold. Hey, Michael, I guess is sterling a form of currency? Because it's putting the euro and sterling in the same sentence. So sterling must be a form of forex, foreign exchange, or some type of currency in Scotland and Wales. Is that true? Does Britain use sterling or something? I need to look that up. Guys, I don't claim to know everything. Most of the PMIs around the world have been quite strong, so there is no bad news here. But the protectionism above stimulus story have given the dollar bulls reason to pause. The dollar rally needs to find some support pretty soon. Otherwise, we're facing with potentially serious correction. Now, when we talk about finding some support, that's going to be for those that are technical traders. You're actually looking for a support line for the dollar. So those that are actually trading know what that really means. So if you're not a trader, you wouldn't really know what they're talking about. So support. So very, very true. Made 3K on Brazilian gold last summer. Good job. Good job, Ms. Ross. See, people are making money, man. The question is, are you? Hey, good morning, Ms. Fletcher. What's going on, Ms. Jackie? In a written answer to the Senate Finance Committee, sentiment had taken a knock on Monday when U.S. Treasury Secretary nominee Stephen Mnuchin told senators that he would work to combat currency manipulation, but would not give a clear answer on whether he thought China was manipulating its yuan, which is their currency. You got the yen and the yang, yen and the yuan, yen in Japan, yuan in China. In written answers to a Senate Finance Committee, Mnuchin also reportedly said an excessively strong dollar could be negative in the short term. The dollar duly skidded as far as 112.52 yen, breaking last week's tough trough at the lowest since late November. Its 1.7% loss on Monday was the largest since July 29th, though it had recovered to stand at 113.21 yen. What we're talking about here is the pair between the yen and the dollar. So if none of that makes sense to you, that's really for the people that are investing into the foreign exchange. Now, of course, we got some classes that's going to be coming up. We've got classes that's going to introduce you to foreign exchange. We got classes going to introduce you to penny stocks. Classes going to introduce you to the stock market, and classes going to introduce you to options trading. All this stuff is coming in February. February is going to be Black Wealth Month. It's the month that we're going to make history. We're going to make history by rebuilding New Black Wall Street. And one of the ways you're going to do that, you start learning how to make your money work for you. So anyway, this is ERGJ from ERGJ Enterprises, New Black Wall Street. Again, we've got the investment session tonight at 8 p.m. to talk about Netflix, Amazon, and Google. Again, over the past year, Netflix 135% return on investment, Facebook 106% return on investment, Amazon 128% return on investment. That's over a 3-year period. And the question is, you guys are using these platforms. Are these platforms putting money in your pocket? Also, we've got the Sprint session coming up on Thursday. So you guys that want to talk about Sprint, want to talk about this deal that Sprint has made with Jay-Z, want to talk about possible investment in Sprint, some things to look out for. We're going to be talking about that on Thursday. And then next Tuesday, we're going to have our marijuana, cannabis, weed 420 session. So you guys that are interested in possible investments into 420, you want to join those investment sessions there. So you can find all that at www.ergj.net. This is ERGJ with your New Black Wall Street. A week, the day ahead in the stock market. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm out.
Thanks for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We'll see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.